What is up, gamers? The Red Dragon here, and we are covering the top stories on VGM. So the other day I told you about the PlayStation 4 and how they have taken down the console, broke it down, looked at all the parts, and estimated the cost. So if you missed that video, I'll link it in the end. But now they've done the same thing with the Xbox One, so I was going to cover some of these numbers. But before I did that, I did want to address some of the issues that some people were bringing up in the comment for the last video with the PlayStation 4. A lot of people were saying that they thought that the story was BS and that I wasn't considering the fact that these parts were bought in bulk by big corporations, so they're going to get a discount and everything else. But as I've mentioned, 100 times in these news videos that I do, if I do a news clip, I always link the story down below so you can go look at it for yourself. And it's not like the story that I was pulling from, they were taking it apart and going and looking on Newegg. So this was actually done by IHS research firm, but these people do take into account bulk buying. They know the manufacturers, they call them up, they can estimate how much each part costs. So it's not a bunch of kids down in the basement. Alright, so moving on to the cost. So they estimate that the Xbox One cost $471 to make, which is about $90 more than the cost of the PlayStation 4. Now, it sells for $499, and a lot of people want to know, how much does the Kinect cost to make? So a lot of people have said that the Xbox cost $100 more simply because of the Kinect, and they're pretty close. The Kinect costs $75 and adds on $75 to the cost of the build, but the biggest price grabber in the system itself would be the CPU. They estimate that it costs $110 to build the CPU for the Xbox One, whereas the PlayStation 4 costs about $100. But one area where PlayStation invested more money is the memory. And we all know that the PlayStation 4 has better memory. They say that they estimate that each memory inside the PlayStation 4 costs $88, whereas the Xbox One costs $60. So if you add all this up, it comes out to about $471. Now, again, as I mentioned in the PlayStation video, that doesn't mean that if you go buy an Xbox, Microsoft just made $20-something off of you, because of course there's tons of other money that is pushed into this that isn't necessarily just the parts and all the work to bring the console together. You have to then get the console to the shelf, so there's packaging, there's marketing, and all kinds of other costs involved, including research and development. And in fact, they estimate that Microsoft is probably going to lose about $1 billion this year on the Xbox One whenever you take into account the research and development and marketing and sales and all that. So, I don't know about you, but I find this stuff a little interesting anyway to pass the time. So I'll leave a link down in the description box if you want to go read more about it. The other thing to note is, the consoles themselves may not be profitable right at the beginning, but over time the parts are going to become cheaper. It's going to become more cost effective for them to build the consoles. So this is only going to get better over time, and of course they make money back with games and accessories and all other kind of stuff. So anyway, that does it for me, the Red Dragon. Post below, let me know, does any of that surprise you? Did you think the Kinect was going to cost more or less, or any of that other good stuff? I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.